Andy will share with us some of the developments and trends in the USA market, as well as highlight the roles that the NGCOA plays in advocating for golf facilities.
Thank you. Okay, good morning. Oh, another round of applause for my opening act, Professor Klutewig. Very good. It's an honor to share the stage with you, as always. Now, do you feel it? We are now the Australian golf tribe. Can you feel it in this room? Can you feel the spirit and the energy now? It's very good. Thank you for inviting me to join you. Andrew and Guy, are you still in the back row? Where are you? I'm privileged to be part of this very first event. Thank you so much. Congratulations on a job well done. Let's give it up for Andrew and Guy. I know we are behind schedule, but relax. Just relax. The tribe is here. We're having a good time. It's okay. I have my clock set. Okay. So, this is my first visit to Australia. I've been in Melbourne since last Wednesday. My wife is with me. We've seen penguins parade at Phillips Island. We've seen koalas, snakes, kangaroos, platypi, wallabies at Healesville Sanctuary. We had your wonderful wine at Tarawara Vineyard. I drove on the opposite side of the road, in the opposite side of the car, moving the gear shift with the opposite hand. But I capped off my assimilation into Australia last night with a game at the MCG, Hawthorn versus Richmond. Now, Andrew, just to show you how ready I am for dual citizenship, I'm going to sing you a song. Now, join me if the spirit moves you. We're a happy team at Hawthorn, we're the mighty Fighting Hawks. We love our club and we play to win, riding the bumps with a grin at Hawthorn. Come what may, you'll find us striving, teamwork is the thing that talks. One for all and all for one, it's the way we play at Hawthorn. We are the mighty Fighting Hawks. I loved it. What a game. My wife has her favorite players, too, after seeing last night's game. Wow. Okay. So today, I'm going to run through a few thoughts. First, I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm going to tell you about NGCOA. I'm going to share a few assumptions going into the presentation. I'm going to give you a 2-minute history lesson on the golf market in the United States, and my top 5 lessons, warnings, caveats, pieces of advice, etc. So if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, I've given you my best advice from the US golf market. So who am I? Well, who am I? It's an existential question. And who should be in this chair? I don't know. I've been in association management and leadership for 20 years. That's my profession. I run organizations. I've been in golf and lodging for those 20 years in the hospitality industry. Now, I'm a member of a tribe called the ASAE. See how I stuck that tribe? The American Society of Association Executives, the association for people who run associations. Let that sink in. Yes. And I've been on the board of the United States Travel Association, which is a $30 million organization in Washington, D.C. that lobbies on behalf of the travel industry in the United States. So I've taken these experiences and bringing them to the golf industry. I have a passion for golf. I've been playing for, about 34 years myself, since I was 8 years old. But I have a stronger passion for small businesses. Now, the golf industry in the United States is a very large industry, but we're made up of exclusively small businesses. And small businesses need to band together to accomplish things. And that's why I love what I do at NGCOA. I consider myself an inspector extraordinaire. What I did in the lodging industry for a while is I inspected hotels. So I'm always observing for better ways to do things, and especially in the golf industry. So I'm a process improvement guy. So I love visiting golf courses, meeting with the owners and operators, experiencing it, and then seeing what can we do to improve. And I'm also a father of 2 young children, a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. So I have this perspective on the future of golf as a parent. How many of you have children under the age of 18? Raise your hand. So hopefully, in the golf industry, you're thinking about this from the parent perspective as well. What is NGCOA? We've been around since 1979. In the alphabet soup of associations in golf in the United States, we are the new kid on the block. Essentially, we were formed as an organization of tax-paying public golf courses. Because as Lodewijk has in Europe, we have the Club Managers Association, the USGA, PGA, GCSA, ASGCA, PGA Tour, LPGA, Golf Course Builders Association, and it goes on and on and on. And the Owners Association is who we represent, the people who employ, and we're at the top of the pyramid. All of you PGA fellas, pardon me, but we are at the top of the pyramid because we employ the PGA members, we employ the general managers, etc. But somehow they have all the money, so it's inverted. Anyway, it's because of those television contracts. So what we do is we educate. As an association, we're constantly educating on how to be a better operator, right? We are an advocate, so we are lobbyists. Is that a word that you use in Australia? Lobbyists, lobbyists can be a dirty word, right? Oh, lobbyists. Yeah, it's only a dirty word if they're lobbying for something that you don't support. If they're lobbying for something you support, it's all of a sudden it's no longer a dirty word. We lobby for the golf industry in Washington, D.C. And we also engage in what's called commerce. We want to do what we can to stimulate play, stimulate rounds and revenue in the golf industry. And we work together very closely with other associations for that end. We have 3,500 member courses in the United States in our organization that pay dues to belong to our organization, but we represent the interests of all 15,000 golf courses in the United States. We have a magazine called Golf Business Magazine we've been publishing for over 20 years. We represent the industry with the media on what is happening, the success or challenges of the industry. Again, we're in Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C., lobbying for various pieces of legislation. And we put on the Golf Industry Show and the Golf Business Conference in the States. How many of you, there are a couple of you in the room, have been to our event? Yes, very good. So those are the crown jewels of what we do as an organization. So some assumptions for today's presentation, and I'm going to talk fast to try to get us back on track a little bit. So I anticipate you will probably ask me about Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. So feel free. It's quite all right over the next 2 days. I have an answer for you probably. I don't know if you like the answer or not, but feel free. My content in this presentation is based on a combination of data from the industry as well as my observations. And every day I talk with owners and operators from all over the country, and I hear their stories. And so I have filtered all that into this presentation. What happens in our market may or may not happen in the Australian market. That's an assumption. I don't know. From what I've seen, well, when I spoke at the European Golf Course Conference in November, your chair said that the winds blow east, that what happens in the U.S. finds its way to Europe. Well, with the exception of fashion and socialism seems to move the other way. So it may be that what happens in the U.S., since we are the most commercialized golf market in the world, finds its way to the Australian market. Maybe or maybe not. You may not agree with me, the things I have to say today, and that's perfectly okay, and I may not be right. So how's that for having a keynote speaker? Great value. I may not be right. That's okay. Okay, 2-minute history of the United States golf market. So, in the 1800s up until the 1950s and 1960s, our market was dominated by private clubs and municipal golf courses. Does that sound familiar? Very much. That's this country, correct? Private clubs, municipal golf. That is how you played golf in the United States. The 1960s to the 1980s, I'll call the Arnold Palmer effect, the popularization of golf, the televised golf events, the rise of the resort and daily fee operation. All of a sudden, hundreds and thousands of courses were being built for the purpose of making a profit. I want to take this 150 acres, turn my farm into a golf course, and make a living out of it. And there was this spike in course construction. From the 1980s to the millennium, the Tiger Woods effect, right? The even more popularization of golf, but the construction boom of the 1990s was really fed by housing developments, right? In the housing market in the United States, thousands and thousands and thousands of housing developments around the country were building golf courses. Was it because there was such a strong demand for golf? No, what was it for? To sell houses. So we have this inflated supply, while demand was staying pretty flat. So did we have what we call a market bubble in the United States? And since then, the Great Recession, we've had what we call a supply and demand balancing. We have more golf courses closing in the United States every year than opening. So the supply is shrinking. But when you look at the breakout of existing golf courses, about 75% approximately golf courses are open to the public, about 25% are private. But of the 25% that are truly private, that don't allow public play, it's even smaller because most private clubs in the United States have opened their doors to corporate outings and so forth. So truly private clubs now it has been shrinking in the United States. So we look at the course supply, the 18-hole equivalents. You have this trend, and then all of a sudden now it's starting to move down. Now, does that look like we are about to crash into a wall and die as an industry? No, but it's the first time since the 1930s that we've seen a shrinking of supply. Okay, well, what about participation? The number of people who played golf last year. We saw this spike around 2003, 2004, and now it's coming down to about 24 million. In 2015, it was down to about, like I said, 24 million people that picked up a stick and played a round of golf in the United States. So yes, we're seeing this, but the problem is we're also seeing this all over the media. Golf is dying. A game of golf, not for many millennials, not enthused about golf. It's all bad news in the United States if you read the headlines. But if you look at the trend lines, it's a different story. But the media, they love their negative stories. But there is hope. 24 million people played golf in America last year. That is a lot of customers. Name me a business that doesn't want 24 million customers. That's really, really strong. 37 million expressed an interest in playing. That's an all-time high. Very good. Rounds were up in 2015, and again, trending up in 2016. Now, we tend to think this is weather-related as well. I mean, how many of you are impacted by weather? Please raise your hand. Exactly. But we've had very interesting and good weather the last couple of years. Youth participation is up in golf in the United States. Viewership is up. PGA Tour, Golf Channel, etc. They're having record results on television. Topgolf is getting a stick, golf club, in the hands of millions of people. Cocktail in the left hand, golf club in the right hand. Tell me that's not going to be fun or disastrous. Although I hear Topgolf is opening the first facility in Queensland, is that correct? So they're making their Australian invasion, and it is a lot of fun. And I would guess right now it's probably 80% just fun and leisure, and maybe less than 20% of people going there to actually practice their game and so forth. So it's a wonderful opportunity to capture a lot of people. Damn that media. God bless America. It is strong. The golf industry is very strong in America. Now, considering the supply and demand challenges, the history of golf, the fact that we have 15,000 operators who all want to do it their way, I've synthesized down for you what I think are the 5 most important lessons, caveats for this market. So maybe there'll be a day 10, 15, 20 years from now. Do you remember when Jay Karen was here and he said, watch out for this. We should have listened. That's today. Today's an important day. Lesson number 1, remember, you are in the hospitality business. I tell course owners in the United States, you are in the hospitality business and most of you don't even know it. And that's because we had this history of build it and they will come. Golf was so popular, it was easy to get your 35,000 rounds in at your 18-hole facility. You just had to open the door. People waited in line. No problem. So that culture remained in the United States and still remains today when we're trying to change that. That now you have to fight for your business, and you have to remember you're in the hospitality business. What do I mean by this? People don't have to play golf. It's not a necessity, right? It is dispensable income, leisure income that they spend on this game. So make it fun, make it enjoyable. Are you having a good time? How many of you enjoy running your operations? Wow, that's about half. The rest of you, please get out of the business. I'm dead serious. If you're not enjoying it, you should not be doing this because your customers know that you're not enjoying it before you know it, right? Your staff, people that are working your golf course, it must be a joyful experience. You're in the hospitality business. How many of you enjoy going to a restaurant where the waiter is rude to you and cold and doesn't respond well to you? How many of you enjoy that? None of you, of course. Think about that when you're running your operation. How is your food and beverage? In the United States, we've got like 30 food channels on cable television. How many of you have multiple food channels that you can watch? Everybody's a foodie. Everybody's an enthusiast. I mean, at the MCG last night, they had crepes. Crepes? I thought this was supposed to be chips and pies and stuff, but they had crepes. Everybody is upping their food and beverage game. How is your food and beverage? Don't dismiss this. You're in the hospitality business. People come, they want good food no matter where you are on the spectrum of an operation. Think about that. Are you exceptionally friendly? I don't know what they call them in Australia, but in the United States, the people who drive around and tell you to move along, you're moving too slow, we call them marshals and rangers. Now, do you know what a U.S. Ranger is? Somebody usually walks around with a cowboy hat and a gun, right? That's not very hospitable, is it? Now, the young lady who's driving the beverage cart around, trying to get you to buy the beers, that's hospitality. Oh, geez, why don't we have the beverage cart staff be the same people to tell you to move it along? Because there's hospitality in that. But, we hire these retired old white guys that come around and, you're 8 minutes behind. You got to move it along. Where's the hospitality in that? So we're trying to train course owners and operators to think differently about their business. The hospitality business. Are you gathering customer data? Think about this. And if so, how are you doing it? How many of you are collecting email addresses? Okay, of those that have your hand up, how many of you are really collecting email addresses? Okay, in the States, which we think that we're so far ahead in all of this stuff, I can play probably 50 rounds of golf a year at 50 different courses, and I'll be asked one time, can we have your email address? We'd love to keep in touch with you. Once, right? We tell ourselves we're good at customer data, but we're really not. So if you're in business, you need to be engaging that customer, getting their information. Okay, of those that collect the customer data, how many of you are actually using it in intelligent ways? Not just, let's blast the entire email list. Hey, we've got a coupon for this weekend. Fantastic. We're so smart. No, that's not using customer information. What is their purchases? What are their likes? And then splitting your list into categories, demographics, likes, dislikes, and so forth. Oh, yes, it's okay. There might be somebody booking a tea time. Now, are you sharing your information? The golf market in Australia, I'm not sure if you've gotten there yet, where people are asking you to share your data with the industry, with an association, your rounds, your revenue data, etc., so we can benchmark how we're doing versus the rest of the industry. Please, when that time comes, if it hasn't come already, participate in data sharing, because it makes us a smarter industry. So, lesson 1. Every single business should be hospitable. Even the gas stations and anything. Everybody should be hospitable. But you are in the business of hospitality. It's very different, okay? Lesson 2. Your golf facility. Golf is just the nucleus. How many of you are showing outdoor movies at your golf facility? Oh, nobody. Oh, well, I think I saw maybe a finger go up, okay? How many of you are having 5K races, 10K races on your land? A few more. This is good. I think we have a trend. This is good. Alternative golf experiences happening in the United States. Foot golf, fling golf, aero golf, disc golf, speed golf, which I really want to try. Fling golf. Look at that apparatus in the upper right hand. That's a cross between lacrosse and golf, where you actually fling the golf ball down the field. Aero golf. This is a new one. Think bow and arrow. What could go wrong, right? I mean, this is important. Now, people think, oh my gosh, golf must be dying if you're allowing this stuff on the golf course. No. That's not the lesson here. The lesson is you're in the entertainment business, you're in the land business, golf just happens to be the core product, right? A golf course owner told me 20 years ago, he said, Jay, when I go to the bank and make my deposit, there's no line on the deposit slip that says how many rounds of golf were played last week. Right? The bank doesn't care. You don't really care. It's about the revenue. Right? We have one course in Harrisonburg, Virginia, that is making $100,000 a year on fling golf. Foot golf is at over 500 courses in the United States. Right? It might be bringing in $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in revenue, but it's revenue. And that's good. And they have found ways to integrate that with the mainstream golfers. So, lesson 2. You are in the revenue business. Golf is the core product. What else can you do with your business to bring people in? Lesson 3. Be ready for the changes happening in society. Consumerism, the taste. The world is changing faster than ever. The speed of change has accelerated. We have competition from every angle when it comes to time and money and what you can do with that time and money, right? Competition is crazy. We live in what I call an Amazon and Warby Parker world. How many of you have heard of Amazon? How many of you have heard of Warby Parker? Okay. Oh, we got one? All right, very good. Warby Parker is an eyeglass company. What you can do is you go onto their website. Now, I'm not guaranteeing they can ship to Australia, but you go to their website in the States, and they take a picture of your face, and you can try on glasses, right? So they put the frames on you, and you can order 5 frames that they ship to your house at no cost, no delivery. You don't pay anything. You can try them on, pick the one you like, send them all back, order it, etc. So I know that I can do this online at my home. That's it. It's very, very simple. This little button on the right, Huggies, diaper company, this is called Amazon Dash. This is where now you can install a button in your home, and when you're out of diapers, you can click the button and it orders it automatically for you, wirelessly, charges your credit card, the diapers show up the next day. Now, don't let your 3-year-old get a hold of this button. And there's actually toilet paper. You could be sitting on the toilet. Ah, damn it. Boop, Now, it doesn't arrive at that moment. That will be the trick when you need it right there. But this is the world that your golfers are living in outside the golf course. When they come to the golf course, it's like they're stepping back in time. All right, so we have to do something about that. Recognize that there is a casual movement in society, meaning less formality. Think dress codes. I want to relax. I don't have the rules. I had to wear a collar to the member section of the MCG last night. We were laughing about that last night, but I had to wear a collar. Why? No, really, why? Can someone provide a really good answer to that? Tradition. So? I paid my $35. Well, Andrew paid it, but I paid my $35. I want to enjoy the game, eat chips, drink beer, eat pies, but, what the hell does 3 inches of fabric mean? Tribe. The tribe. Yes, but the tribe is changing. More people, there's a larger tribe out there, or at least the tribe is growing of people who don't care about that. All right? This is a photograph of my children. December 2014, a driving range in Charleston, South Carolina called Rivertown Country Club, right on the range. They had a wonderful deal for children. $10, they can hit all day long. And I thought, this is fantastic. Thank you. And so I brought them to the pro shop. It was 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a cold day. I figured nobody's going to be out there. We won't bother anybody. We go into the pro shop, and I thank the young man behind the counter. Hey, thanks for having such a great deal for kids. This is fantastic. And then we're getting ready to walk out of the pro shop. And this is my son in the foreground and my daughter in the back. And he whispered into my ear, he said, sir, next time, can you please make sure your son has more appropriate golf attire on? Now, this boy is 5 years old at this moment. I thought I was doing good just getting him in pants, right? But I thought, wait a second. What does it matter? You just turned me off to bringing my children out. And he didn't say anything about my daughter who has no collar. But the men must have a collar. Yes, okay. All right, yeah, sure. All right. Now I took this picture a few months ago at a very popular resort in Florida, right by the first tee box. The following items are not permitted on this course in practice facility: denim of any color, t-shirts, tank tops, swimming attire, halter tops, running shorts, gym attire, short shorts, cargo shorts, worn or tattered clothing. This is not acceptable golf attire. Is that hospitality? Who believes this is good hospitality? Right? These devices on golf cars are changing the experience, right? GPS technology. What could be possible on these screens while you're playing golf? What's to come? Very interesting. Music on the golf cars. How many of you allow music on your course to be played? 1, 2, okay. We're seeing trends in this golf market with 1 or 2s. Lots of 1s or 2s. So I experienced music for the very first time on the golf course last week. I invited a buddy of mine out to my club, and he's a guest, I'm a member. We tee off, we're on the first fairway. He said, do you mind if I play some music? I thought, no, it's okay. I'd never done this before. He has his wireless speaker, starts playing his music, it's just the two of us. And it was fantastic. Like, this is really cool. And I'm putting on the green. I can hear the golf car, 20 yards off. I can hear some, music playing. I'm like, I thought this would bother me, but it didn't. And I thought, this is nice. More and more courses are allowing that. So the lesson: society is changing. Their desires are changing. Their shopping experiences are changing. If you expand with society, then you're expanding your marketplace. If you stay the way you are, no music, always collar, all of these rules, if you stay that way, you'll have a marketplace, but your marketplace is shrinking compared to the rest of society. What could be done? Why can't you order something at the golf course? My gosh, like rental clubs. How many of you offer rental clubs? Most of you? Do you have a system where if I fall in love with the rental clubs, I can go and order them and have them shipped to my house the next day? That's what we should have in the industry, these kinds of experiences. Lesson 4, practice intelligent pricing. And I'm not going to steal Andrew's thunder because I think tomorrow Avo, I'm learning, he's doing thank you very much. He's doing a session on pricing, but I do want to leave you with this lesson. Simple pricing leaves money on the table unnecessarily, meaning these are our Saturday rates, these are our Sunday rates, these are our Monday through Friday rates, our summer rates, our winter rates, and that's it. We have our rack rates. Now, that's fine, that's simple. But you're leaving money on the table when I say unnecessarily, because you will find that consumers are willing to spend more given certain circumstances, right? Dynamic pricing responds to demand, meaning when demand's high, prices could go up. But we don't do that. Now, we've had dynamic pricing in simple form, like, well, I know demand's going to be higher on the weekend, so I'll charge higher on the weekend. We're seeing in the States it getting very granular, that the 9:08 tee time may be priced one way, and the 9:16 tee time might be priced another way, right? Very interesting what's happening. Disneyland. This is how much it costs to get into our park in Disney World in Orlando, all day or every day, 365 days a year. Now they're starting to see the most popular weekends, they're starting to increase the price. How many of you have heard of the Green Bay Packers NFL football team? Okay, they're starting to charge more based on who's coming to town. The Patriots are coming to town. More popular game, higher demand. Let's drive up the price. What can we learn from that? Creative pricing can also change the value perception. Packaging, right? What can you do to package the experience in golf and price accordingly? To think, wow, for $50 I can get all of this? Fantastic. That's great. Thank you, golf course. For $50, when you show up, we'll have the sleeve of Pro V1s already sitting in your golf cart waiting for you. Nice. Great. Thank you for the value. Unlike other luxury items, golf demand and pricing is inelastic. What I mean, if you remember your economics class from college, luxury items usually are elastic, meaning if the iPad costs $1,000 today, and all of a sudden it costs $250 tomorrow, you actually might go buy two of them. I'm going to get one for my wife and me. At $1,000, I can only afford one, but this is a luxury item, very nice. I'll buy more because the price went down. That's elastic. Now you think golf is a luxury item. If I lower my price, I'll get more people playing. No, it's inelastic. The reason is because of time. Just because you've dropped your price in half doesn't mean I have twice as many hours to play golf, right? So remember, golf is inelastic. Beware of the discount. A study at Cornell University proved that dropping your price might allow you to steal a little bit from the competition, but in the end, you usually come out behind from a profitability standpoint. Demand-based pricing. If you went online to buy a Cirque du Soleil tickets this particular day, the lowest price is when they open the doors for ticket sales, and the price goes up as time goes by. Well, we got it backwards in our industry, often offering the lowest price the day before just to try to fill the T-sheet. All right, that's backwards. Oh, look at this. I love this. When I bought my tickets to something, you can have it digitally delivered, emailed, for free. Or you can pay $2.50 and it'll be at the window for you. Wow, when did will call cost $2.50? Dynamic pricing, right? Oh, I love this. When I went to book an airline ticket months ago, what happens now is that you go to book your ticket, it's $300. Fantastic, okay, I can afford that. I choose this flight. Oh, now you choose your seat. Oh, okay, all right, that's fine. Choose your seat. we're finding now that, oh, all of the economy seats are sold out. You now have to pay an extra $45 or $53 to choose a seat. Oh, well, that feels like a money grab. That doesn't feel like good dynamic pricing. But you know what they're doing is they're using dynamic pricing. How can I get more money out of my customers? And as a customer of the airlines, I feel like that's nothing but a money grab. That's not good. That's where the pendulum has swung too far in one direction on dynamic pricing. Oh, look at this. The forecast for the next 10 days here in Melbourne. Imagine if Saturday it was going to be 78 degrees and sunny. Now, how many of you have a golf course in Melbourne, in the area, in the market? Okay, a few of you. What would you do? A lot of you probably wouldn't do very much. You know, it's our Saturday price, whatever. There's an opportunity here possibly to look at weather-related dynamic pricing. The weather is going to be fantastic. In fact, and I've got an argument against Golf Now. I mean, how many of you know Golf Now in the United States? All right, Golf Now, they have this great story that they tell that this past March in Chicago, when the weather is usually terrible, they had unseasonably warm weather in Chicago. And so the Golf Now team jumped on it and started blasting out emails to everybody in the Chicago market, come play golf, for 80% off. Now you're thinking, wait a second. Demand is going to be very high because the weather, these guys have been itching to get out all winter. This is the time when you double your price. Right? No, not double. But you raise your price. You keep a strong price point because they're going to come out. Right? So that's where I have some conflict with some companies in our industry. But recognize there are opportunities here to change pricing. So lesson 4 is leverage your dynamic product and price wisely. We must move beyond the rack rate concept. If somebody, I'm hoping 5-10 years from now, somebody will say, oh, what does it cost to play golf at your facility? And your answer is, it depends. Right? Every price could be possibly different based on demand. Okay, last lesson, lesson number 5. Be vigilant and wise with the online tee time marketers. This is a battle that I'm very involved in the United States. I say it's a battle because it is a battle in the United States. The third-party tee times are, the largest ones are the top 2 here, Golf Now and teeoff.com, which is now owned by the PGA Tour. We've got a few others in the marketplace as well. Essentially, they are the booking.com of golf, correct? I mean, most of you are familiar with these companies. Now, their goal is to also sell tee times. Is that your goal? How many of you would love to sell tee times, get golfers at your course? That's your goal, right? That's their goal too. We're in alignment, perfect alignment, correct? Incorrect. Let me tell you why. So, in particular, the United States, and you'll see this lesson here in a moment, beware of the barter. The compensation method, now listen closely, please. This is where the professor is coming out. The compensation method in the United States between these two companies, mostly Golf Now, and the golf course is through barter. Meaning that Golf Now will come to a golf course and say, I have this fantastic technology that you can use to run your golf course. Tee sheet software, guest management software, food and beverage, financials, yada, yada. You know, this is the technology you need to run your golf course. And we have a marketing platform. We have 80, 100 million, 1,000 golfers that follow Golf Now. Don't you want to expose your golf course to all of these golfers? Well, of course I do. Tell you what, you can do so. We'll give you the technology. You can be on our platform, and it won't cost you anything. Oh, sounds too good to be true, right? Oh, well, 6,000 golf courses approximately in the United States bought into this, where essentially they give 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 rounds per day to Golf Now, meaning when Golf Now sells those rounds, they keep the revenue. You bartered those rounds, you gave it to them. In exchange, you got this technology and all the marketing. Problem is, you've also given price control to them. How many of you have variable costs with your business? All of you do, right? So your natural inclination is to keep price up, right? Golf Now has no variable cost with each of these rounds. So they're looking at this Thursday, I've got 3 rounds to sell at Patriots Point Golf Links. Nobody's buying them right now. Jeez, what am I going to do? Drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. And these bartered rounds are called hot deals. So what does Golf Now do with their email list? What do they push? Hot deals. 80% off golf, right? So be very careful here. Barter has screwed the golf course owner. in the United States. So this is the day and time I'm hoping you will remember. Beware of the barter in the Australian golf market. Because you have, in the United States, we have abdicated price control to the marketer. And that is not good. Maintain full control of your brand. Sometimes you'll allow these marketing companies to do your marketing for you. Okay, for 1 tee time, I get the technology. For 2 tee times, we're going to email market you to our list. For 3 tee times, we'll do your full-blown marketing. We'll do your search engine optimization on Google. We'll do everything that you need to do to get golfers in. Be very careful in this situation because you've given them control of marketing your brand. Oftentimes, they use your brand to drive traffic where? To them. Where they sell what? Hot deals. Where you get how much revenue? Nothing. And your golfers are paying $7 to play golf there where it normally costs $30 or $40. Wow. Maintain control of your brand. Maintain control of your inventory because oftentimes, and I love open architecture, I love companies that share inventory and data. Like I Seek Golf and the fellows behind that company are doing a fantastic job keeping an open architecture. That's good. But as a golf course owner, you should be able to turn on and off where you want your inventory to show, like a spigot. You should be in control of where that inventory shows up online. Yes or no, I want to be on this site, or what have you. And maintain full control of your price. The only courses in the United States that have a negotiated price situation with the third-party tee time marketers are the large management companies and the marquee golf courses, the most famous golf courses and those that have 10, 20, 30, 100 golf courses in their portfolio. They've been able to successfully negotiate what's called floor pricing. For those hot deals, they can't go below a certain price. Or there is a convenience fee when you book on Golf Now. They're splitting the convenience fee with the golf course. So unless you're one of the big shots, it's very hard, to negotiate something advantageous for yourself. So before anything that happens, and it may never happen in this marketplace, but always be in control of your price. Never abdicate price to somebody who doesn't have your costs. Think about that. In the United States, we've established what's called the Golf USA Tee Time Coalition. It's a new organization made up of representatives from the NGCOA and the PGA of America. And our goal is to set standards, technology standards and business practice standards for all of these companies engaging in this line of work in our industry. For example, sharing the customer data. For a long time, if somebody booked on Golf Now, on your golf course, they shared the email with you. Then all of a sudden, they turned it off. Nope, if you want the email addresses, you got to give me another tee time, another bartered round. Wait a second. Are you my friend or my ally or my competitor here? Right? So we have certain standards, business practice standards that we think are fair, like sharing customer data. So you can certainly Google Golf USA Tee Time Coalition if you're interested in learning more and more about this. I could speak all afternoon just about this. This is what it's starting to look like in the United States. You go to Golf Now in Greenville, South Carolina, or in South Carolina, in the what's called the upstate of South Carolina, looking for a tee time. This is what golf booking is looking like. This is now a commodity business online. This is telling you, golfer, we don't care where you play. Here are the times and here are the prices. And we don't think you should care where you play. It's a commodity. Are we a commodity business? We're actually not. Every single experience is different, right? So we should find ways to make sure that we do not become a commodity. And this is an email that I get every morning from Golf Now. 80% off. Thousands of courses, right? This is not the strongest message we should be sending millions of people who are willing to spend money on golf, but we assume everybody is price sensitive. I would argue more people are time sensitive than they are price sensitive when playing golf, right? So don't assume your audience just wants a discount. So, that final lesson, marketers can be your friend. They can. But beware of barter and maintain full control. So to close out, how many of you have seen this quote from Mr. Albert Einstein? Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I've updated this just for the golf industry, just for you. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same result. That's the definition of insanity in the golf industry. We cannot do the same thing over and over and expect the same number of rounds, the same people to show up year after year. We have to do things differently. How many of you have seen Golf Board? Has that made us, oh man, wow, this is fantastic. I love this experience. Right? You have to sign a waiver and watch a 10-minute video before they allow you to do it. But it is a lot of fun. In closing, I hope that together we will make golf great again. Thank you.